So first of all we need to get the username of the droid in question. We already have their ID because we've used the drop-down menu to select which droid we wish to remove. So we simply select the first name and the surname from the employees table. Then we're going to remove that droid data from the database. Again, a very simple delete statement accomplishes this. The most complicated part, again, is the actual privileges statements. And that works in a very similar way, revoking each of the privileges in turn explicitly, using a very similar system to look at whether it should be a select privilege that's being revoked or an all privileges on each table of the vids database. Finally, we need to get all the different droid IDs for the drop-down, so we run a search on the employees table with the criteria that the employee is a droid as opposed to a manager. Let's take a quick look at the way this works in our application here. We're logged on at the moment as Bob Slack, and as you can see we don't even have the option of adding or removing any employees. So let's log out, and we're going to have to log in here as the boss. The boss is called Jeff Harsh, and his password is money. So let's log Jeff Harsh in, and as you can see Jeff Harsh has all the information here that Bob Slack has, but he also has two more options. The options of creating a new droid and destroying a droid. So let's call our droid Phil Dozy, give him a phone number of some sort and a password. Now we're able to create our droid Phil Dozy, and if we want we can go on and create another droid. We can go straight away to our destroy droid function, and we can drop down here and we can see all of the employees that are under Jeff Harsh as control. So we can remove Phil Dozy from the database. Then we go to try and destroy another droid. We'll see there are only 3 employees. Let's take a look at the source code here, and we're going to look very briefly at what happens in case the user that is trying to log into this particular part of the site is not logged as a boss. We get this message, the unauthorized message. This is a fail-safe to make sure that even if somehow the employee looked over the boss's shoulder and noticed what URL they were processing in order to add and remove employees, when they went to type that into the address bar themselves, they wouldn't be able to access this information or make any changes because they wouldn't be logged in as the right kind of user. Another thing that I'd like to show you very briefly about the source here is the way in which the permissions are set up, where we add privileges to the new employee. I have 2 arrays here, or 1 array I should say, an associative array, which stores each of the table names and associates it with the particular level of privilege that we're going to grant to the new employee on that particular table. We then use a while loop to loop through that array and perform the SQL on each of the tables. So as you can see, this piece of SQL is a good example of something that's generated on the fly and saves us writing out 10 grant MySQL queries.